You guys ever hate being right? Welcome back to the Noble Turtle, everybody, and welcome to my review on Primate 2025. So we're gonna break this movie down based off just the trailer because honestly, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the entire movie. Uh, Spoilers, it's not great. It's not a good film. Right off rip, uh, the whole advertising for this movie was there's something wrong with Ben. Something's wrong with Ben. Something's wrong with the chimpanzee. Something's wrong with the monkey. It's rabies. You figure it out in about the first 10 minutes of the movie. It's rabies. So if we're being honest, we're watching Cujo with a monkey. So if you've seen Cujo, you've seen Primate. But more than just a horrible premise for a movie, I went into it with an open mind, thinking, okay, it's a chimp. It's different. Could be fun. Could have some cool moments. Could have some cool some cool kills, some cool thrills, and it does deliver on some good gore. I'll be honest, it definitely is up there on the kill meter. But once you get outside of the kills and look at the actual story, it is about as cliche as can be in the horror genre. Let's break down the trailer and I'll explain. So right off the bat, we're in Hawaii and we're introduced to three co-eds, their sister, and one of their brothers. Okay, so right off the bat, we are introduced to a beautiful Hawaiian landscape. Okay. However, one of these people that were invited, this girl specifically, does not know that they have a pet chimpanzee. Why do they have a chimpanzee as a pet? That's a great question. It turns out the mother did stuff with chimps, some sort of a rescue thing, taught them sign language and shit, and the dad's also an author about sign language and animals and all that. He's deaf, I guess. He does a lot of the ALS, ASL, American Sign Language. Problem with that being, this movie does not give you any subtitles, so everything this man says, you don't get it. You don't have he literally has no words because he's deaf, and they don't give you subtitles for anything he says. However, he's irrelevant for 99% of the movie because you see him in the first 5 minutes and not again until the final 5 minutes. So, kind of whatever. But a little bit of a pet peeve that you gave this guy lines, technically, and didn't let us hear him. Seems a little weird. And or understand him, I guess I should say. Not here. That'll probably get me canceled. Fuck it, we ball. Moving on through the rest of the trailer. We get to meet Ben, who's doing fine. Ben seems fine. Everything's fine with Ben. No issues with Ben. Until there is. Ben ends up killing, spoiler alert, ends up killing something in his kennel. This kennel, his cage. Something that had rabies. I think they said it was a mongoose. Is that even a thing in Hawaii? Are mongooses in Hawaii? Are there mongoose in Hawaii? Yep, apparently there is. All right, so it was a mongoose. I was right. Kills the mongoose, contracts the rabies through the mongoose bite. I guess it bites him on the arm. That's the beginning of the end for him. Also, there's a vet that shows up to treat him for what they believe is a sickness before they even realize he's sick. And he ends up getting his face ripped off. And that's the first 5 minutes of the movie, which is kind of the cliche kill that chimpanzees are known for, just the whole face off thing. They kind of shot their wad on that in the first 5 minutes, and then you're just left reeling after that with mediocre kills. So once shit starts hitting the fan with Ben and you start realizing that there's something wrong with him, they realize that they need to get the hell away from him. So what do you do to get away from a chimpanzee when you're on an island like Hawaii, especially on a cliff like this? Turns out you go get in the pool. At least an hour of this hour and a half long movie is filmed in this pool. Why do you get in the pool, you ask? Apparently chimps can't swim. So I Googled it because I didn't believe it. It says chimpanzees generally do not swim and tend to avoid deep water due to their high muscle mass, low body fat, and heavy bone structure, which makes them sinkers rather than floaters. So kudos to the movie. They knew more than I did. There typically is not a swimming chimpanzee. Fun fact, I guess. More you know. So they all hop in the water. Oh, the younger sister got bit too in the femoral artery in her leg, so she's bleeding to death. So it kind of sets the time, the ticking time clock cliche of we got to hurry up and get out of here. We can't just wait for somebody to show up. The dad's gone on a business trip. Of course, none of them have their phones because they're co-eds. Why would they ever have their phone attached to their face? Oh, and Ben has this weird kick of using his tablet that talks and just keeps saying things like dead, dead, dead. Super cliche. Super cliche. Super annoying. So after a little cat mouse game, they decide to get the phone off the floor. It's cracked. It's hurt. They decide to call for help. Who do you think they call? You think they called the police? Think they called her dad? Probably didn't call her dad, not unless they FaceTime. No, they call a couple fuckboys they met on the plane. Literally, that's their whole shtick for their character arc is they're fuckboys. They met on the plane. They tried to flirt. Went okay. Got numbers exchanged. And now they're calling them for help. Of course, they're at another party, smashed because frat boy's going to frat boy. So they're smashed, trying to figure out where these girls live because they think they want them to come over for coitus. The call ends up getting cut short, though, because Ben comes across some lights, grabs Hannah here by her hair. You know what happens when she gets pulled up by her hair? He rips a whole chunk of her hair off. Very painful, very excruciating. You know how painful it is? Apparently not at all because they don't mention it the rest of the movie. The rest of this movie, this girl has no bald spot. She doesn't wince in any pain. She's perfectly fine. She got a chunk about this big ripped out of her head. Don't bring it up the rest of the movie. It's fine. It's unnecessary. I'm sure she walked it off, swam it off, whatever. After this, there's a lot more cat and mouse scenes in and out of the house. The one brother that's with them ends up dying right off rip. He decides he thinks he can try to push Ben off the cliff. That the pool is an infinity pool, leads off to the cliff that goes down to the ocean. So he thinks I'll push him off, not realizing a chimpanzee is incredibly strong compared to him. He ends up getting ripped over the edge instead. There's a long drawn out scene of him falling. Quick zoom in on the neck break as he hits the cliff. Very Final Destination-y. Kind of cool in the moment. Looking back at it though, why? Kind of cheesy. They could have just had him fall off and just had it be more impactful that way instead of the quick zoom in 3D CGI death. But sure, you know, the movie is trying to do what it can. It's grasping at straws here. A lot of cat and mouse again after that. You end up with these two in the house doing about everything wrong they can possibly do, trying to hide from Ben, trying to find a phone. One of them steps on a remote. They turn the TV on. It's super fucking loud. I think it's like Dora the Explorer or something the chimp would watch. It's kind of funny in the moment, but also you guys are idiots. They then decide to hide in the closet behind some clothes, and apparently Ben can't see or smell them behind the clothes, even though he's a bloodthirsty, rabies-infected chimp. They make it back out. After that, the two fuck boys finally show up because they think they're going to do fuck boy things. Doesn't go well. Doesn't go well for them. This guy, we'll call him fuckboy A, just decides to go straight to the girl's bedroom thinking, hey, I'm just going to wait for the girls up here. It's not creepy or nothing. Sees the picture of the girl and the chimp, and then guess what? Here comes Ben. And he probably gets arguably the second worst death in the movie. First one being the face rip off, because that's painful, because you're going to feel that for a while till you bleed to death. The second worst death is definitely his. He gets, uh, yeah, yeah, not the kind of head I think he was hoping to get. I'm not proud of that joke. So, anyways, he's dead. The other guy kind of dies halfway off screen, just gets the shit beat out of him. Don't really get to hear much at him. And an old girl with the bald spot uses that distraction to make a break for the car. However, in the infinite cliche of dumb co-eds doing dumb co-ed things in horror films, she grabs the wrong keys. She gets in the wrong car because apparently her and the fuckboys drive the exact same make, model, color of car, but she goes and gets in the wrong one. After grabbing her keys, she gets in their car, but then Ben finds the keys and proceeds to toy with her while she's calling 911. And 911, of course, has no fucks to give because cliche 911 don't care. But they do this skit where he keeps hitting unlock and she keeps hitting lock for an unreasonable amount of time, which I know chimpanzees are smart, right? They can learn sign language, they can solve puzzles. I don't know that they know how to work a key fob to a 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee. But not only does he figure out lock and unlock, he figures out how to open the hatch with the button. As you can imagine, this doesn't end well for her. She tries to make a break for it. She don't make it. So after Ben captures her, beats her to death, she dies in the back seat. But the police at this point have been called. So they're on the way. Then the dad decides to come back from his business trip because nobody's answering their phones. He comes in at the prime moment with his rape whistle to save the day from his two daughters getting killed by the chimpanzee. So they do this skit to finish out the movie where the dad blows the whistle to save the oldest daughter, which then makes the Ben come attack the dad. The dad then tries to fist fight the chimpanzee. Obviously doesn't go well, starts to lose. Then he gets beaten, and as he's about to get killed, then the oldest daughter redistracts the chimpanzee. The chimpanzee, Ben, then goes back to trying to kill her. At which point, then the dad redistracts again, stabs the chimpanzee in the heart with a broken beer bottle because co-ed party. And then, right when they think the chimp's dead, they're all hugging. One cliche left to go. Of course, the chimp's not dead, makes one last attack. The oldest daughter then pushes the younger sister and the dad away and sidesteps the chimp to throw him off the balcony, at which point he's then impaled a second time and he's finally dead. Cops then, of course, show up because cops can't show up till the credits roll. And then at that point, you're left with the final cliche of one of the cops has the tablet and you hear one of them's hitting the tablet and it's saying bad or dead or something stupid like that. Of course, the older sister freaks out, thinks that the chimp's still alive, turns and looks, and it's just them hitting the tablet, but she stares at it like she thinks it might not be over. Like there might be a sequel to this. Are they going to revive the chimp? It's got rabies. It's going to die regardless. I'm pretty sure an animal with rabies can't survive. How long can an animal, how long can an animal survive with rabies? Oh, that's water. Thanks, Google. 7 to 10 days. This is day 2 or 3 at this point in the movie. So at most, he's got 4 days left. 4 to 7. So I don't think there's going to be a second attack. So I'm pretty sure it's over. Anyway, the whole thing is very, it's very not great. If I'm being completely honest, this movie got, what the fuck did I say it was? 78% Rotten Tomatoes, 71% popcorn meter. Let me just read some of these reviews, and you see if it makes sense after everything I told you what some of these people are saying. This guy gave it a 3 out of 4. Monkey see, monkey kill, monkey scare. What, buddy? More watchable than it probably deserves to be. Primate is a B+ movie in a B- subgenre. Uh, this creature features more like a D, my guy. First off, the kills were fun. I enjoyed the kills. It's very Final Destination-y the way it does kills. The actual makeup, I guess, the practical effects, the CGI when it comes to the monkey, whatever they did there, something just looks off about it right from the beginning. It just doesn't look great. It's kind of similar to like Blood and Honey 2. Like, and I love those movies, don't get me wrong. They're guilty pleasures. Everybody loves their guilty pleasure movie. This is not a guilty pleasure movie to me. This is a cash grab. Definitely a cash grab. Let's look a couple more of these reviews here. Let's see. While the premise sounds like the making of a cheap B movie with little to no value beyond it, that is not the case with Primate. It is. It's a cheap B movie. It's a C tier movie, if we're being completely honest. The acting is so over the top. If you're a fan of the college co-ed tropes in horror movies, like your campy style horror movies, you're going to love this because they are as campy as can possibly be at all times. I mean, the overacting is just ridiculous. I mean, I think they throw out just about every fucking cliche that they can to try to be like today's youth, and it's not ideal. It's really fucking annoying, if we're being completely honest. Yeah, the CGI not great. The practical effects are okay. The kills are fine. If I was going to give it an honest review, 2 out of 5. It's a 2 out of 5. Are you going to be super upset you watched it at, I think it was what, an hour and a half runtime? Yeah, hour 29-minute runtime. Is it horrible for that long? No, I think with that timeline, it's doable, it's watchable, but it is definitely a one and done. It is not something you're going to add to your list of I got to watch this movie every year. Let's get one more review in here. Primate keeps you on the edge of your seat, delivering the best version of the same old thing and cutting at just the right moment without dragging on. No. No, my guy. No. It really doesn't. It's as I literally was able to predict every single thing that happened in this movie, and I just broke down the trailer for you, and you've seen the movie. That whole hour 29 minutes you saw in the 2 minute 59-second trailer. The 15 minutes this video is probably going to be, you've basically seen the whole damn movie, and you're not missing shit other than a couple really cool kills. That's it. Uh, yeah, I mean, it just goes on and on. This movie is definitely getting glazed pretty hard, and it did not deserve that. It's a cool concept. I think they made the mistake of running with the already played out Cujo story, I think they could have done something better. I think they could have done something more fun. And if we're being honest, a chimpanzee. So on top of doing the already played out Cujo storyline, you also already had chimpanzees being the main virus spreader for the 28 Days franchise, which has just had two more sequels come out in the last year. So the whole chimpanzee infected thing, being a killer, rage, rabies, whatever, it's kind of already been done more than once. Um, yeah, I mean, again, if I was gonna give this movie a rating, it's a solid 2 out of 10. It's fun. It would be a fun summer watch, I guess, if you really wanted something to take you to an island. But yeah, I definitely cannot 100% recommend this movie at all for anybody. It's a bit of a bore, not great. Um, yeah, if I was you, I would pass this one. I don't think it's worth watching. If you do watch it, it's whatever. You're not gonna regret the hour and a half that you spent on it, but it is definitely not something that's gonna hold your attention. It's just unfortunate because I think it had a pretty cool concept. I think it had great advertising. The tagline, "There's something wrong with Ben," was really cool. But when you figure out what that is in the first 5 minutes of the movie, it kind of leaves you with an hour and 24 minutes of wondering what the fuck are we gonna do here. And it's just Final Destination E style kills the rest of the way out, just gore porn for the sake of gore porn. There's no scary moments per se. There's not really any jump scares, which is fine because I'm kind of burned out on jump scares being overused in horror anyway. But I never really felt scared in this movie at all. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't think this is it, Chief. I don't think this is the one. I don't think this deserves to be this highly rated in audience scores or in Rotten Tomatoes in general. Um, but yeah, this is my second movie review on the channel. Trying to switch off the gaming for a little bit, doing some movie reviews instead. Let me know what you guys think. If you enjoy this type of content, be sure to leave a like, a subscribe, much appreciated. Comment down below if you saw this movie and what you thought about it. Maybe I missed the mark. Maybe you can change my mind. Maybe I'm being too hard on it. Maybe I'm being too hard on a creature feature. Um, but I don't think so. I don't think so. But you're welcome to try. Comment down below. All right, guys. This has been the Noble Turtle, and get your pets checked for rabies. And I will see you guys next time.